to BizChicks TV. We're here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle so you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. Here are your hosts.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. Today, I am here with Coach Caren talking about bringing those profits in daily. She's here all the way from Toronto, Canada. She's in the house, and we are so excited. We are continuing a subject that I found really profound. I don't know what to say. Guys, get out your pencils and pens because we're going to dig deep today. Coach Caren Fern, Carolina from Biz Chick says, you got the floor, girl.
Okay, guys. So if you listened to last week and if you didn't go back and listen to it, because this is a continuation. And today we're discussing again, heal while you're hurting. I want you to do it simultaneously. It's like if you got debt, you're paying off your debt, but you're saving, which means once you finish the debt, you can start investing. So that sort of thing. Same idea, same principle of it here. So one of the things I talked about in the last class, we talked about, the importance of why you must deal with it. We talk about looking at the small hurt first and then getting yourself in a state of mind and a state of place where you can really do what you got to do. And today we're going to cover three other things. I mean, this subject is big, guys. I want to lie to you. This subject is a subject you can really dive into, and little by little, either way I could do a program for a full year where you're there, you're working through it. We're getting back, we're getting clarity. This is the kind of thing that takes a while. So in the meantime, go investigate the little that I'm talking about. I'm just scratching the surface, but this is a subject that, been on my heart for a while, and I wanted to come bring it to you guys, especially because I like to bring the planning in November. I start mine in October, and this is a good way for you to clear out the cobwebs, understand yourself a little bit more so that you're able to go do the planning and then do the work from the planning, because planning and setting goals are great, but if you're not going to do the work that you plan to do, then you're going to fail. So I want you to set the goals. I want you to make the plan, and I want you to be productively doing, even when you don't see results, even when everybody is doubting you, even when you're doubting yourself, I want you to go do it. Because it's something inside of you probably is hurting and you need healing from it. And that's why everything is showing up. It's like a mirror effect, okay? So I want you to go deal with it. So today we're going to cover what happens before our healing begins. So we're going to talk a little bit about that point. And which processes do you use while you're in turmoil? Everybody got a survival mechanism. And that's what you go to, right? I want you to tap in and understand what that is, and then we'll talk a bit about doing something better. And then how do you manage after the after effects? I'm going to give you a little stories around that so you can understand and kind of match it to what you do, or find out from listening to this conversation that this is what you do, or this is what you don't do, but you can figure out what to do. So without any further ado, let's dive right in, because this is such a big subject. We're talking about
it is that, Coach.
Such a big subject. We're talking about what happens before healing begins. And when you're in pain, you don't think about being healed. You're just mad, upset, vexed with the world, frustrated, angry, and all the other words you can come up with when you're in that hurting space. Revenge is part of it. Because you're thinking how you can get back at the person, and nothing is wrong with those thoughts. When you're here, don't do revenge. No, I'm not saying you go do it, but the thought process, you let it flow. You let it come out of you. That's why I love journaling so much. You journal it out. You write it up. You write a letter. You burn it. You get it out of you. I don't want you to do anything to the person or the situation. No. I want you to get it from your head outside. That's what I want you to do. Because if you don't do that, it is hard for you to actually heal. Now, are you going to fully heal the thing right away? Probably not. It's going to take some time, but I want you to start the process. So the question was, what happens before our healing begins? We start the process. You journal. If it's a person, you write a letter. If it's an organization, you write a letter. I want you to burn that letter. And I want you to stand within the burning of the letter and don't just throw it away and walk away. I want you to acknowledge this has happened to me. This has truly happened to me. I don't need anybody to verify that I was heard, that I was spoken down to, that this actually happened. It wasn't a dream. I was in it. I felt it. Have that conversation with yourself. Get in front of a mirror if you can. If you don't have a mirror, imagine you know what you look like. See yourself there and have it out with you. Because when you're finished having it out with you, and by the way, it could start today, but it could take 7, 14, 21 days to get past it. I don't want you to stay in the stuck state, but I want you to know you'll do it. There's this little remnants that happens and you're fighting yourself and you're feeling guilty, you're feeling mad and you're feeling all the feelings. As it comes, jot it down, write it down, get it out. Get it out in the open so that it is done. And every time you're being remind you about it, you get to say that I did what I needed to do. That part is done. I want you to own that it's done. I don't want you to keep the done and find no excuses. It is done. And if you need to get the same journal or a new journal, however you like to do things, and I want you to have the done things so that you can go back and see them and remind yourself. It's not to evoke more pain, but it's you to say, I was hurting from this and I looked after the hurt. So it is done. So when your body, because your memory like to remind you about the hurt, you get to say it is done. And not right away, but over time, you look back and see how many things you get done. And it's power. And when you start gaining back your power and your strength, there's always going to be these obstacles. I want to always say this. That's going to come back to try to affect you. Don't let it. This is your job. Your job is more important than anything else in don't letting it do that to you. No. We're not doing that. So once that is done, now we can start talking about the healing. We can start talking about how the healing begins, what that looks like for you. Healing can mean longer walks. Healing can mean you're learning to jog. Because when you're moving your body, there's so much greatness that's happen. Yeah, we know you can lose weight. Yes. But it's so much other inner works that happen. You start seeing life differently. You're not a victim anymore. Even if you're in victim mood still, you're starting to come out of it. You're seeing that the people who's trying to harm you, they really don't have the power. You've just given it to them. That's why it feels like they have the power over you. But they do not have the power. You're walking away that crap. You're getting rid of it. You're journaling. You're spending time with yourself and not feeling guilty. And start off with 5 minutes if that's all you got. Then make sure that you have it set up that you're going to do 15 and then 20. And no matter how long you got to stay at 20, get to 20 and then ultimately to 30. You'll know when you can do more. But I want you to start. I want you to start the healing process and I want you to set up what it looks like. So if you say it looks like movement, and that's important, that's very, very important. I don't care how little bit you can do, go do it. You don't need to walk for 30 minutes. You need to walk for 5 minutes. That's all you have. You need to stretch for 5, walk for 5. That's it. You need to journal for 5 or 10. People say, I need hours. No, you need to pour out what you have within that time and the rest will come. Because if you burden down yourself for too long, you wouldn't do it every day. It will be too hard. And by the way, this is an everyday thing. This is you working on you. So it's every day. If you take a day off, don't feel guilty though. If you say today, I just need rest from that, that's fine. But get back to it very quickly. 2-3 days, we're not doing that. Because when we do that, we fall back into the things that was bothering us, that was there with us, that was hurting us. And it wants to consume us. You'll get to a point where you don't have to if you don't want to. But in the first year, you're doing a lot of work. Let me not kid you. You're doing a lot of work because this took years to get here. you're going to be doing a lot of work. The next thing I want you to do is find out what kind of process you do while you're in turmoil. When things are hurting you so much to the core, what's the process you go through? Do you know? If you don't know, I want to investigate. What is the process? Do you go numb? Do you retaliate right away? Do you quietly go away and ponder? Do you cry, which is a form of release? Don't be ashamed of that. Do it if you need to. Do you wish bad on the person? Do you wish you in a better place? Do you start questioning God about your existence? The more we talk about these things openly, we're not afraid to say these things, the better off. Take your time. Rest and allow the answers to come. We're at number 9, guys. I just said 9 things. We're allowed to have time to do absolutely nothing. Don't let nobody tell you differently. You're allowed.
And that's what you mean by spend time with yourself. Examine what's really going on.
Don't talk to nobody. Don't take that phone call. They'll be right there when you're done. You're your own client. You're the best person for you. I want you to pay attention to this. This is so important. And the minute you start doing that, you're going to get pushback, but that's okay because you're building up the strength in you to do the things you want to do. So you're going to have to understand there's a yin and a yang. This is how it works. There's good and bad. So you working through that. So that's going to come up. The more you question you, the more answers you have for you. Don't go finding it elsewhere other than within you. It is important. It's not because nobody else could help you, but you got to find out. You got to find out. And once you understand what's the process of your trauma and how you do it, do you leave it once you find that out? No, the other question is, do you leave it unanswered, unfixed? Do you find out from yourself, what do you do next? Do you find yourself falling back into the same pattern? Give yourself a few days or a few months. And how could you not fall back into the pattern? Because you're going to fall back immediately. But then once you catch yourself, what you have to pay attention to is how quickly you catch yourself. The quicker you catch yourself, the more you're growing. Just to give you an example. The quicker you catch yourself, the more you're growing out of it. Also, This part you might like, but you're going to lose a lot of people. Because the minute you start to grow and not tolerate certain things, you're going to lose people. And if they were part of your hurt and they're not looking after themselves, they can't grow with you as you heal. It's like fetching 2 bags of coals and it's heavy. You got to let the coals go. The seam is going to burst and you're just going to be holding the bags. And all the hurt, people, is the coals that you're allowing to just fall. If you want bricks, whatever it is, because they become too heavy. I don't see you, but sometimes you can have a very, very good friend that you went through thick and thin with, and you really, really love the person. But because they're not ready to get rid of their hurt, you can't take them with you. It doesn't matter if you want to. And I have experienced wanting to bring people that don't want to look after the hurt. And I couldn't. I just couldn't bring them. I could see how I can help them, but I couldn't bring them. And this is how God, I think, worked, because he bring you other people who is in hurt too, but they're ready and they're willing and they're open. And those people might never become as close with you, but close enough for you to help them on their healing journey, on where they need to go, on what's next for them. Because although everybody's not coaches, we do help people along the way. We do coach people along the way. We do help people see a different side of what they could be, where they can go. And sometimes we need to take away those people who is really close to us that we want to help, and help the people that God has put on our path to help, because those are our next mission. That's the next thing that we're supposed to do. Because when we help those next people, it takes us on the next journey, not necessarily to be a coach or a teacher, but to whatever else you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whatever else you're supposed to do. You are healing with everybody you help. You're healing because you first helped you.
Okay. Okay, Coach. What I think I hear you saying is that sometimes we want to bring everybody on the journey and they are not ready. They haven't even accepted the fact that they've been hurt, or that they're experiencing hurt, or they only want to talk about our hurt because they don't want to acknowledge their own hurt. And so therefore, when you start to heal from the hurting, they feel a deficit because now they have nothing to talk about. So you may have to come out from amongst them.
Or you can stay in friendship with them on the surface level.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Know? Yeah, sometimes you don't even have to
spend
let
as much
people go.
time.
Yeah, exactly.
Stay off the phone or limit the conversations. Because
and people exit themselves without you doing anything. You don't even have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. That's the other part. You don't have to do anything. They exit themselves because they're going to find new people who was giving them what you were giving them. Because they're always going to be somebody who's giving that. Mm-hmm. I can sit and tell a few friends of mine, what I was doing. And they still can't see that I had a business. Because if the business wasn't the business they knew I had, they couldn't see it. So the business was retail and wholesale, supplying shops and restaurants.
The business.
Right? Mm-hmm. That was the business model. And then when I started doing import-export, it was for bigger businesses. Now I'm handling. So I'm doing the smaller business and bigger business. And some people were confused that I can do both just because they couldn't do both. And so they were confused. And so I lost friendships. And some people fall off because they said I didn't have enough time for them.
Okay.
And some people, I had somebody got really in my face and got really upset with me. And at first, I was young, in my 20s, guys. I was just as mad at her for doing that. And then once I calmed down, I went and see her to find out what really was bugging her. And she says, "Caren, you grow away from me." Mm-hmm. I know you always had it in you to do a lot of great things, but come on, what more you need?
Really? Some people want you to hold their hand, and they may not recover from this for 40 years. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Think about all the time that has been sucked up from your accomplishments, nurturing something that wasn't producing anything.
At all. And they'll make you feel greedy. They'll make you feel like you're rich and you don't want to tell them. They'll come to borrow money. Some of them, depending on the situation, and they'll do all kind of little funny things. And the reason I wanted to go through the things I talked about last week and this week is because when you start knowing yourself, here's the other good part of it. When you start knowing yourself, it doesn't, how it would bother you, it lessens. It gets less and less. When people say things to you, when people try to hurt you, that's the good part. It's still going to hurt from some things, but the hurt feels less. It doesn't feel like the punch in the face anymore or the gut.
Okay.
Right? It is still hurtful, but it doesn't feel like you just get punched in the gut, in the face. Now, every now and then, somebody's going to go below sea level. That's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Every now and then somebody's going to go below sea level, but you will recover quicker because you're understanding who you are. You're understanding what they're pushing you to do, right?
Yes.
So these things are happening to you, right? You're understanding what you got to do, where you're going, what needs to happen. Somebody's by my window, guys. Give me a second.
Okay, I hear somebody tapping.
Yeah. You're understanding what you need to do, where you need to go. They'll have to wait. I am sorry about that. So you're gonna be, you get better and better at it. You're gonna get better, I promise you. Yes, it's a process, but you'll get better at it. And
Okay.
number 3 is, how do you manage the after effect? Because after this journey, can I tell you, you feel tired and exhausted. And you're like, where do I go from here? Like, what do I do? Well, let me give you the good news. You're building a new house. That house that you're building is you. You're building you up, and you can be anything and do anything you want in this new home. Think about it, right? You bought a new house, and everybody says, this furniture, are you seeing this? Don't do anything. I always encourage, when I used to do organization review, I say, especially a new house, I'm like, don't do anything yet. Like, leave the home and get used to the home other than your bed and stuff, and see what the house is telling you it wants and do it. If you have no sense, hire a designer. But if you're going to do this on your own, don't try to design your place right away, because you're not going to like it.
Oh,
You're just not gonna like it. You're gonna be okay because that's what you have, but you're not gonna really like it. You start loving your house when you're in your house and you spend time. You're like, owning a cleaning business has taught me things I would never put in my home, because they sell it to you and it look great. Tiles, I would never put tiles on my counter. I just wouldn't do certain stones. They're hard to clean and maintain.
they are.
The limestone. There's just certain stones that don't matter how you clean it, still look dirty. There's just certain things, certain kind of stovetop. There's just so many different things. That's why business is such a beautiful thing, because you learn so many things about yourself. And any business, I'm talking about any business. The cleaning business, people look down on it, and some people have a lot to say, but I'm telling you, it's such a powerful business to teach you to hire, fire, train, retrain, get into the nitty-gritty, understand personalities, understand how people move and work, what motivates them. That business taught me so much stuff. Each of my business has taught me so much stuff. But that business was like the gold crown of nuggets. And it feels like a simple business, but it says an easy business to start. It looks that way. But if you're going to start a good cleaning company, you need a lot more than the eye sees. So now you've got this new house to build. Are you cleaning this new business? Everything is nice and fresh. Do I want oblong 12-seater? Do I entertain that much, or do I want a round dining table? Like, go in the store and sit around a dining table. Imagine yourself there with the people you love. Do I love the camaraderie of people closer to me, or I want them farther away? Because that's what a longer table will give you. Do I like to sit and cock up my foot on my coffee table? Do I like to stretch out in my sofa? Do I like to sink in with a book? Like, you're getting to do this with yourself. And that's what I wanted to see when you say you manage the after effects. How am I building my house? Don't listen to anybody. What do I want to do? I want to be a coach. I want to be a teacher. I want to sew the most beautiful garments, and I want to sell it to the people who want to feel rich and beautiful and gorgeous in themselves, not because they're full of money, but because they're full of their spirit, and it's great and good. And that's what I want to do. That's what I want to design. And say it out loud, and then write it down. And if right now I don't have the money to do it, what am I willing to do and sacrifice to get there? I need to do this kind of job to make this amount of money, to have this amount of time. Let me tell you, don't mix up the money with the time, because if you're doing a lot there and you're making all this money, you won't have the time. That's going to demand a lot out of you to pay you that high salary you want. So now the design of these gowns or these pantsuits or these hats that you want to build, you can't do them anymore because you don't have the time. Now you're going back into frustration, upset, the heart return, and all this come back, right back, because you didn't take time in the after effects of what you truly want. Take the time. Of all the things I'm telling you here, I hope you recognize that I'm talking about taking the time to find out who you are. Who is Caren? Who is Terry? What has hurt us deeply? Where do we want to start softly with the
Wow.
little tiny things before we get to the big ones?
Whew. All right, guys. You heard it from Coach Caren. How to heal while hurting. We did part 1 last week, and this is part 2. And I just want to encourage you to go back and look at part 1, because you did talk about ways we could heal through movement and journaling and paying attention to ourselves, spending some time, right?
Yes.
Reflecting on,
Yes. Yes.
what's the real deal? Why am
Yes.
I really hurting?
Yeah.
Gosh, guys, okay. Coach, thank you so much for your time. I want to point out to everyone that we have some ways to get in touch with Coach Caren, and I'm going to put those on the screen. If you're looking for Coach Caren, she's starting a new course. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness gracious. Coach, you just done such a good job today.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is where you can sign up for her new course. Oh my gosh. And she has a new YouTube channel. So we want you to go over there and we want you to subscribe.
Yes. We're doing good. We got I know it might be small to people. We got 85 subscribers and we were hoping to get to 100.
All right. Look,
it's been moving nice. It's catching.
Steady. Yeah. So I'm going to share the screen. This is her YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. Can you guys see that?
She's got
some, so you'll know when you're there.
Yes.
Coach, teacher, and product vlogs. So there it is. She's got 84 subscribers. I'm going to be 85 because I'm going over there and subscribe today, Coach.
Terry.
In fact, let's see. Can I do it from here? I am subscribed. Okay, there we go. There we go. Some great videos in here about money principles. So I just want you guys to know that Coach is making herself available and that you are going to be able to run a profitable business that's fun to run because Coach is in the house. Thank you so much for what you do and all that you're doing, guys. Let me get back to the right screen here. Oh, what did I do to my screen? Oh, here we go. There you are, Coach. Let's see. I don't know what I did about the spotlighting. Oh, there we are.
There we are.
Yep. Okay. And I just want to thank you for everything that you've done today, Coach. As usual, you have wowed us. You have wowed us. Oh my goodness. And we are so appreciative of what you do and how you do it. And we just want to thank you for that. Guys, I also want to remind you, now you see Coach's YouTube now. We said we're going to subscribe. Okay, let's go over there and get it done. In addition to that, I want you to know that we are doing some great things here at Biz Chicks, and we're excited to talk about that.
Yes.
One of the things that we have going on.
I'll let Terry talk. I'll be right back, Terry.
Yes, okay. One of the things that we have going on is that we are hosting a workshop coming up, 5 ways to use and to use AI to save time in your business. And I'm hoping that you guys can see that. Okay, let me go back and share because I don't see it sharing. Sharing. Let me get to that screen. Hold on a minute. 5 ways. There we are. 5 ways to share, to use AI to save even 10 or more hours in your business. So we're going to put that up on the screen so you can sign up for that. Meanwhile, let me take down some of these banners.
Mm-hmm.
And we just want to make sure that you know how to get there. So with that, we want to thank you for your time. We want to thank you for all that you do. And I'm going to put the link to the Stand Store up on the screen. Let me see if I can find it. It should be in this wonderful list of, of banners. Okay, there we are. There we are. That's the banner. You can click on that and go and register for the free workshop on 5 ways to use AI to save time and money in your business. Meanwhile, we want to thank you for your time, for all that you do. And Coach, we want you to know we really do appreciate everything that you do for us and how you show up for us. And guys, I want you to show up for her and subscribe to her channel. With that, remember, it's okay to make money in your business. So go to the front of your own line. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in today. We trust you've learned something to help you build a more profitable business and take the hassle out of your hustle. See you next time.